I've been vegan for years, but when I actually sat down to calculate what I eat, something shocked me. I wasn't even close to getting all the nutrients I thought I was. Even eating healthy, plant-based meals every day, I was falling short in places I didn't expect. This matters because nutrition isn't just about what you eat, it's about whether your body is actually getting what it needs to function, heal, and thrive. So I'm setting out to answer a simple but serious question. Can you really eat enough in one day to meet all your nutrient needs without a single supplement? This is the Vegan RDA Challenge. One day, no supplements, just food. We live in a time where supplements are the norm.
In this video, we're going to go over the 7 best supplements.
Supplement.
This year alone, Americans are set to spend over $35 billion on dietary supplements, from vitamins to trendy powders.
And everything in between.
I guess you can say supplements have become a part of us. And most people assume that you eat healthy, plant-based meals all day, you'll cover your bases. But when I plugged my daily diet into a tracker, vitamin B12 at 40%, iron 60%, zinc even lower, I realized I was fooling myself. I honestly thought this said chlorine, but no, it says choline and thiamine, manganese. Jeez Louise. And what the frick is choline? But nutrition isn't just about what you put on your plate. It's whether your body actually gets what it needs to function, heal, and thrive. Last year, I thought I was eating pretty well. But what if food alone isn't enough? The goal is simple. In one day, without a single supplement, can I hit 100% of every RDA? That's the Vegan RDA Challenge. So here's what we're working with. 100% of USDA RDAs. No supplements, whole plant-based ingredients only. All tracked using a nutrient tracking app. So some of these nutrients are notoriously tricky on a vegan diet, especially without supplements. Like vitamin B12, it's rarely found among your normal foods. But I want to see how close I can get. Using nothing but food, how far can plants truly take you? No, not you. You're perfect. Okay, with tomorrow being the day, I probably should get some advice from someone who actually knows what they're doing. Enter Nisha Melbani, a registered dietitian nutritionist, cookbook author, and the plant-based creator behind Cooking for Peanuts. Nisha's known for her simple, budget-friendly vegan recipes that actually fit into real life and help make eating more plants feel fun and doable. Nisha, I'm setting out to hit all of my RDAs using just food. Vitamins say you have to take them daily. So I feel like people's understanding is that we must get all of our essential nutrients in just 24 hours. I feel like it's doable on food alone. Am I right?
No. But this is also true for non-vegans. And it doesn't really matter because fortunately, we don't become deficient in a nutrient in a single day. What's more important is your pattern over weeks and months.
Can you tell me, what are the RDAs you pay the most attention to as a registered dietitian that follows a plant-based diet?
Here are the 5 nutrients I pay particularly close attention to on a vegan diet. My first one is B12, and this is the most obvious one because plants don't make B12, so we have to supplement. Technically, you could meet your B12 requirements with fortified foods. You would need to eat those foods 3 times a day and space it out to improve absorption, but this is really hard for most people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a lot of work though.
And it's not just vegans. As we get older, our absorption naturally declines with age. So people over 50 may need to supplement too, even if they eat meat. My second one is vitamin D. And this is tough for vegans and non-vegans. Food sources are limited, sunlight is not reliable, and just like with B12, conversion gets less efficient with age. So without enough vitamin D, we will absorb less calcium, and this will weaken our bones over time and increase our risk of fractures. So it's important to get your vitamin D levels measured, and supplementation is often needed regardless of diet. And my third one is magnesium. Magnesium is abundant in a vegan diet. It's found in beans, nuts, seeds, and greens. Stress, exercise, sauna use, diabetes, or consuming alcohol, all of these factors increase our magnesium needs. For example, they tested college students after they had exams, and their magnesium levels were low for about a month. So I encourage my kids to take a magnesium supplement when they have exams. That brings us to number 4, which are omega-3s.
All right, so what's the best source for omega-3s for folks on a plant-based diet?
Algae oil is the cleanest solution, which is best absorbed. Not relying on fish is also more sustainable. So number 5 isn't technically a DRI because it's not essential and it's creatine. But to hit the 3 to 5 gram amount, which is where we see heart and brain benefits, you would need to eat a lot of meat. Research shows clear benefits from supplementation of creatine for vegans and non-vegans. So you're probably wondering, does this mean a vegan diet is inadequate? No. What it means is food first, and then use supplements selectively. I like to remind people to choose their supplements carefully, and it's a great idea to choose a brand that's third-party tested.
Before I touched the knife or turned on the stove, I needed a plan. I pulled together everything I've learned from our conversation with Nisha, online resources, and nutrient databases. The goal? Design a day of meals that check every box. Some nutrients, like vitamin C or magnesium, were easy, but others, way trickier. So here's the lineup: breakfast, lunch, dinner, plus snacks. Can't forget the snacks. All built to hit 100% of 29 essential nutrients. And if that doesn't work, I'll know exactly where the gaps are. Okay, so meal 1, a smoothie bowl with frozen berries and added in some flax seeds, a little greens, fortified plant milk, peanut butter, plus a side of toast, avocado, nutritional yeast, and some seasonings. I do that 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's. Mwah. That actually looks pretty decent for a breakfast. All right, you know what's crazy? In just one meal, I've knocked out 40% of my daily requirements. But calories were already adding up. That was my first red flag. Lunch was a mineral bomb. I made a salad, plenty of greens, dark leafy ones for vitamin K and folate. So spinach, kale, yeah, lentils for iron and zinc, 1 Brazil nut, and only 1 for selenium. Fun fact, 2 Brazil nuts can push you past the upper limit for selenium. So I measured twice. Mid-afternoon was where reality started to hit. I was feeling full, but not done. I still needed vitamin E, iodine, and a little more calcium. Dinner was designed to close the gap. Sweet potatoes for vitamin A, tofu, cauliflower, and tahini for calcium, iron, and magnesium. This meal is probably the most intentional meal I've ever made. By the end of the day, I was full. Stuffed actually. But the real question here wasn't how I felt, it was what the numbers said. This was the moment I realized eating for volume and eating for nutrients are 2 completely different things. I ran the data. I cross-referenced every nutrient against the official RDA values. And Here's the truth. I failed. Even with a near perfect plan, some nutrients were still tough to cover through food alone, like choline and vitamin D, but I came way closer than I ever thought I could. Out of 29 essential nutrients, I hit 24, at or above 100%. 3 more landed between 75 and 90%. The experiment wasn't perfect, but it taught me something better than perfection. It taught me what's possible, and that is kind of the point. This challenge wasn't just about hitting numbers. It was about understanding what it really takes to meet our body's needs through food. I used to think I was eating healthy, but now I realize healthy and complete aren't always the same thing. And I think a lot of us assume that as long as we eat a variety of foods, we're covered. But unless you're actually tracking, it's hard to know for sure.